Second dig.
I've been asked on several occasions about how I clean a coin. This is the process that I use. I've actually put a coin in here. This is a container that I use to soak my coins. This is Vaseline. This has been in for about 24 hours. I believe this is a large cent that I found yesterday, and I soak it, and then I put it on this piece of rubber, and I have these skewers, wooden skewers. Vaseline does is it soaks into all the dirt, and then you scrape it, and the Vaseline has softened that dirt enough to prevent it from scratching the coin. And the wood, which is softer than the material, which is copper, is also soft enough to prevent it from scratching the surface of the coin. So I'm going to actually remove the excess. And you can kind of see here that this is a 1 cent. I believe it's a Liberty coin. I am going to begin scraping it, and this is a time-consuming process, but it is really a good way to do it. And you can really scrape it hard because you're not going to damage the copper. And you'd be surprised at how well the copper has held up over the years. The surface gets coated with, gets oxidized, I believe copper oxide, that protects the coin. That's why copper pipes last so long, to get an actual coating on them, and it protects them. I also have a chopstick that I use, a little bit more robust, and what I do is I cut it off because the end gets kind of rounded off. So I cut that off, gives me a new surface to work with. And this one actually works better because you can get a better grip on it and get some more force into it. It's hard to get into the smaller areas though with it. I'm really interested in getting this down to the point where I can see the date on it. So I'll probably do that here. I just want to at least get the date off of it. I'm thinking it's from the 1880s maybe. These large cents were made actually from the late 1700s. I think 1790 was when they first were made, and they stopped making them, I think, in the mid 1800s. And I then wash it off, mild soap and water, and I actually use a scouring pad, a Scotch-Brite. Scotch-Brite, I would never use steel wool because that's going to cut into the metal. But Scotch-Brite is a fairly soft plastic and material, and it won't scratch the coin. This is the way I do it. I'm sure there's other ways to do it as well, but you never want to put a coin in acid or any type of solvent, because what you're trying to preserve is the patina, and they look beautiful if you can preserve that patina. Okay, I'm going to wash this off. So this one is not cleaning up very nicely. I'm going to let it soak some more. I've got some that are just beautiful. This one is a little bit rough, but maybe it just needs to soak longer. So I'm going to try to take a closer look at this and see if I can see a date on it. I think it says 1837. I'll show you one that I cleaned up previously. This is a different era scent, but this one is beautiful. And this one cleaned up very nicely. I'll actually post a picture of this. Once I get it all cleaned up, I then coat it with this Renaissance wax. This is a microcrystalline wax polish. It's a European manufacturer. It's been used for years. It's made in England. It's very, very good at protecting. It's used in museums to protect old relics. So I try to coat most of my finds in this. This coin, I would imagine, was lost when it was fairly new. And this is from 1893. And I'm guessing this fell out of someone's pocket and it was fairly newly minted. This one could have been carried in somebody's pocket for years and years and fell. So it may have been worn to begin with. And then depending on what's in the soil, it can be more aggressive and corrode the copper. So the pH of the soil is pretty important. So that's it. Thanks for joining me.
Second dig.